My name is Bombardino Crocodilo. I am a bomber. I am a crocodile. I didn't choose to be a weapon. I just wanted to fly. When you're born with a reactor in your chest and teeth that echo like thunder, they don't teach you how to dream. They teach you how to destroy. Even as a hatchling, I was louder than the sky. People looked up to me, yes, but not because they admired me, because they were afraid of what might fall. They called me Croco Boom in school, laughed when I couldn't land without cracking the earth. But I never laughed back, because every time I dropped a bomb, something inside me broke too. I didn't want to be a hero. I didn't want medals. I wanted silence, wind, a sky that didn't scream. My brother, Bombardino Crocodilo, he understood. He was a jet goose with grenade launchers, wild and reckless. He called me Big Boom, even when I was quiet. He said, "You're not dangerous. You're just powerful. There's a difference." But then the War of the Three Legs came. Tralalelo, tralala, crossed the border in her blue Nike shoes, fast as lightning, and I didn't hesitate. I flew, I raged, and for the first time, I let them turn me loose. They called me a savior, a storm, a living weapon. But after the war, the sky felt empty. People cheered. My name echoed in cities I'd never seen. But my brother didn't speak to me. I circle his shelter sometimes, high enough that he won't hear, just to see him. He's still waiting, I think, but I'm too afraid to land. What if he doesn't forgive me? What if he sees the monster they made me? I hear rumors. That Bobrito Bandito is back. That Lirili Larila is gathering the desert winds. But I can't go back to the world, not yet. Not until I remember how to fly without fire. I am Bombardino Crocodilo. I'm not a hero anymore. I'm just a shadow in the sky, looking for a place where I can be the wind, and not the storm. Bombardino hadn't touched the ground in weeks, not since the last mission, not since the parades, not since he saw his brother's eyes flicker with something colder than fear, disappointment. The sky was his refuge now, but even that felt heavier than before. He flew low over abandoned airfields and long-forgotten valleys, listening for voices that never called his name. He kept hearing the rumors, whispers that Bobrito Bandito had resurfaced in the fractured South, stirring up chaos beneath the concrete jungles. Some said he was building an army, others that he was searching for something. A name kept coming up in stolen transmissions. Tung, 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 sahur. Bombardino didn't know what it meant, but he knew it had weight, and weight was something he carried well. When the first sign appeared, a symbol etched into the sand, 3 concentric circles with a jagged slash through the center, Bombardino tilted his wings and dropped altitude. It was old code, military, possibly pre-unity, but it wasn't the code that made his circuits twitch. It was the scent. Familiar. Wood smoke and metal. Goose oil. Bombardino had been here not long ago. He scanned the area, heat sensors flickering through the dusk. The canyon was quiet, but it wasn't empty. Something shifted behind a ridge, too small to be a vehicle, too deliberate to be wildlife. He didn't engage, not yet. He was tired of fighting shadows, tired of not knowing if his enemies were strangers or family. Instead, he landed. His engines hissed. Dust curled around his landing gear. It had been too long since he felt solid earth beneath him. The silence welcomed him like an old friend or an old trap. Then a voice filtered through an old comlink crackling from a rusted speaker embedded in the rock. "You finally came down, brother?" Bombardino turned slowly. The speaker was embedded in an old field station, long abandoned but clearly reactivated. Bombambini's voice was deeper than he remembered, angrier but not surprised. "I didn't think you'd come, not after what you dropped on Tralala Ridge." Bombardino didn't answer. He didn't need to. The silence said enough. "You're not the only one looking for Sahur," Bombambini continued, "but you should know something. They're not hiding anymore, and if you came to stop them, you might already be too late." Static swallowed the last words. The signal cut. Bombardino stood still, staring at the speaker, as the wind picked up around him and the first drops of rain began to fall. He looked to the sky, then back to the ridge, and for the first time in a long time, he didn't want to fly away. He wanted to know the truth.